Yeah, okay, mate. Let's have a look here. Kite, pretty nasty rejection on the 2 week, but looking like that entry on the 3 day can be a good play. Let's look at it. What chart were you on there actually? Here, US dollar. That's the US dollar there. It looks a little bit like Binance is slightly older. Well, it's got this candle to work with. So for now, I'll just work on Binance. So the first thing I think I would do there, I'd put on the POC just to find. I'm not going to put it on the first candle because the first candle can be a bit of a scam candle. So you see there we are below the point of control. There's a larger, it's quite a large spike actually. It'll not be easy to break through that. So, if it does bounce from this area, this is a daily chart, but if it does bounce from here, you might find resistance upon there. To come back down or at least not get through that level at the first attempt. At the moment, that's a pretty major level on the chart because of the size of it compared to the rest. It's a huge spike up in there. So it must all be something to do here with this rejection off this wick. You would imagine it's coming right through there. The Coinbase USD chart also had a large sell volume on this candle as well. But actually, let's just check this on Coinbase just to see well, what's happening here. Is it anywhere similar? And it's actually a little bit lower. It's coming off this cluster. So I think this volume here on Coinbase has skewed it a bit. Um, so both are not the same. But what it is saying is there was a large resistance there, and then we have our large resistance here, roughly, and bounces into this area can still be resistance in the short term. But let's see what you're looking at there. There was 2 week, yeah, pretty nasty rejection, bearish stop hunt. I think that's what you were on about. Pretty bad rejection, but this is getting into a potential bounce area after that big down move. It's had a lot of down at this point. It's coming back and look at that there, perfectly back down into this sort of flat base. Yeah, that's trying to hold and create a bounce. Now, it is a 3 day, red 3 day at this point. 6 hours time until a new candle. But obviously, if you're looking for a reversal and if a reversal was going to happen, something like that is very normal. To get dips down into the wick on a new 3 day, and that's where you'll be looking to pick some of this up or look for a pivot or something down in there to see it start holding to then try and get a bounce off this level. We do know that bounces up can be met with resistance potentially as they are point of control volume resistance. Now, how real is the volume? That was a huge volume spike. Is it a bit of manipulation or what? I'm not so sure what. Sometimes these small coins can just get these, this giant candle here. Maybe I'll just go and check on the 4 hour, see what's happening. Yeah, so the volume was real there. It does look real, and it's on Binance and it's on Coinbase, so it can't really be arguing with that. Oh, it's not showing it there. Yeah, it's there. It's real. Let's just break it out a bit, and I want to see the monthly. Yeah, you can see we're in a red month, so it's a nice dip in the red month and getting down into a potential buy area. 23 days left. It's a deep red on the month, so you do have to be careful. Sometimes your best buys will be down in a green candle. The safest buys can be a green candle, but obviously for knife catching, you want to see this pop up a bit, create a wick on the monthly, and then later continue higher or whatever. If you're buying it for a bit of longer term play, if you're buying it on the short term, as we talked about here, you'd be looking to trade a new 3 day. No need to trade this today. Move that out of the way, and then you'd be looking to buy the dip down into the wick because there's quite. I put on the wrong thing there. There's quite a lot of support coming through there. Off this cluster here. So it's a pretty decent order block. It's a 3 day order block right down in here after, and it was a stop hunt up there, but it was a long way to the downside. So when you get long drops into support, there's a higher probability chance of getting bounces or a reaction. Now, if the price had, as an example, consolidated up here and just had a small drop in here, well, price could just consolidate again and break through it. But the fact it's been a straight move down into it, there's a higher probability of getting a reaction off that level. So I just think it is important to understand that this is deep red on all time frames. I mean, the monthly, the weekly, the 2 week, um, probably the 3 week and 4 week as well. My internet is very bad at the moment. There was a technician out today. It's not resolved yet. He's going to come back tomorrow. I think I actually need to get a new line. They need to dig a new line from the house out to the road. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I just have to make do in the meantime. At least it's working at the moment. I'm actually waiting for the phone company to phone me back. But yeah, deep red on most time frames. You just have to be careful, of course. Is this going to flip green this month? That is unlikely. Anything's possible, but it's unlikely. In the near term, it's already had a huge drop. So, for getting a reaction in a bounce, yeah, I would probably just trade that new 3 day, and then trade it for the bounce, but not. No, I was going to say not expecting it to be super bullish, but the fact of the matter is, if this does bounce from here and holds these lows, there is a chance that if you're holding for 23 days in 3 weeks' time, you could end up doing something like that. Getting a bounce from these lows and continuing them going higher. So yeah, it's an interesting coin at the moment, especially there in the 3 day, the way it's fell into this support level. And there's not much difference in the two charts. Volume would be the only difference because this here is skewing the volume on a 3 day. But the charts are basically the same. It's dropping back into this sort of support level right here. If I throw a point of control just on this little cluster here to see where it is, you can see that the top of here is the resistance point. So near-term bounces may struggle back into here because we are red on the month. And even fall back away from there. It's possible. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, mate, yeah, I hope you're well. And I'm going to get to your other video in the BTC chat.